looting, and we can continue, protesting peacefully. Eric Sheni is supposed to be a cousin of mine in a direct or indirect way. So I am hurt. The protests, alikuwa ana protest peacefully. Fighting for everyone. We also want Kenya to be better. Because Ruto saying that ninataka kuwatafutia employment outside. Us who are outside are saying, when is Kenya going to get better so that we can go back home? Honestly. So you guys, we are looking up to you. We are trusting you. I don't know. You are our hope. So if you don't do this, the people who are there back at home, if you don't do this for us, I don't know who is going to do it. Honestly, this is it's sickening. I don't know. So if people have a way of protesting peacefully, can we just let this go? Because kuna mtu amesema mkilet go tu hivi kidogo, Ruto is going to come after you one by one, and we're never going to get this opportunity again. Anyway, thank you, Kimosi.
Hello? Yeah, you can go on.
Hi, Kimosi.
I can hear you.
I have been waiting for this mic kutoka 11:30. Wewe na Osama Utero nimeshinda nikiwa inbox huko Maga.
Nimekupea chance. You can go ahead.
Umenipatia chance. You see that can't Millicent Omanga. I wanted this mic Millicent Omanga akiwa area because I had a lot of things to tell that can't, because huyo Millicent Omanga mimi ningemtukana nimtusi mpaka atoke kwa hiyo space, because I cannot stand that. Unaona, you cannot go steal 1 billion of Kenyan taxpayers money alafu you come and join our space. I was very angry. Nilikuwa namuona, I was requesting for the mic na sipatiwi. Nilikuwa nimtukane mpaka atoke, na kama hakuwa atoke nilikuwa nimwapie vitu zingine bado. So sasa hivi ukinipatia mic saa hii, haki ya Mungu nasikia tu ni kama nimepoteza hiyo hasira yote ilikuwa imeenda. Sasa inaenda kulala. Anyway, there is something you guys are forgetting about. You guys, kuna wale wasetu wako na a lot of followers in this Twitter space. Wewe Osama Otero mwenye nasikia amelala saa hii apparently. Huyo ni kant mwingine. You guys, you are called influencers, and there is something that you are letting the government get away with, or wako mbele yenu with whatever we are trying to push. The government right now is pushing the narrative. Imagine the government sahi imehire goons. Iko na akina Vilinturi imesamea. Iko na this can't mwenye amepost stories za maandamano ni illegal. Amepost. Yani, they are taking control of the narrative. And you guys are the influencers. Okay? Mimi, how I would wish that we get ahead of this thing. We get ahead of this thing. Kitu yote tu government ina try kupush. No problem. Let them push whatever they are trying to push. Lakini we are ahead. So, kama sahi, the CS for Interior, nimenya tu sahi, I'm a bit, nimekasirika by that, nimesahau jina huyo fala. How I wish angekuwa tu amepost hivi kidogo and everything is tumembombard mpaka hata he cannot handle hizo magasi ametweet hapo anatoa. We need to get ahead of this parastatals. Hizi zina tweet tu vitu za ujinga. We need to humble them. You guys mko na followers wengi sana. Yani you are letting the government tweet ni kama they are controlling the narrative outside Kenya. They are telling the world what is happening in Kenya. Okay? That has already been taken. They have taken control of whatever is happening in Kenya. So they are telling the world what is happening in Kenya. So we have lost lost the narrative.
Don't. We're giving each and every person 3 minutes, kindly.
Okay. Ni sawa, namaliza. We need to take control of whatever whatever Kenya is putting out to the world. Waache tu kudanganya dunia. Unaona? Waache tu kudanganya dunia. Sisi, nyinyi, kama influencers, we are capable of kunyamazisha hizi parastatals. You know, Ministry of Interior inasema sijui nini. No. Cancel. Okay? Ni hivyo. Asante bro.
Can I speak, Kimuzi?
Shukran. Before you are chained, let God is able to speak, Oscar.
Okay.
Hey, good evening, members. I hope you all can hear me. Kwanza, rest in peace to all our fallen soldiers. Those at the hospital, wish them quick recovery. We're really saddened, some of us, with the story like we tuko tayari kuachilia hii kitu tukisema kuwa tumeshinda. Hakuna ushindi tumepata mpaka Kenya yetu iwe free from corruption. Hakuna ushindi tumepata kama bado watu watakuwa wanachukuliwa wakienda kupewa vitisho wakitaka kuuliwa. Tusidanganyane ndugu zanguni. Hii safari tulianza, hakuna mtu anashuka. Yule ambaye amechoka, kina Cairo, shuka taratibu, kimya. Kina jamaa anaitwa nani huyu ambaye anazungumza stories za matusi kila wakati. Yote ambaye amechoka bwana, shuka pole. Teremka, nyamaza, keti kwa nyumba yako, usitoke maandamano. Lakini usiambie watu wasiende kuandamana. Hatuandamani sababu tunataka kufa. Hatuandamani sababu tunataka kupora watu. Wezi watatumwa na serikali kila mara tunapoandamana. Tunajua nia zao, tunajua tactics zao, sio mpya kwetu, sio geni kabisa. Kuna mtu alikuja na wazo zuri sana. Tukueni na roadmap ya maandamano, tunaingia barabara hii, tukitoka barabara hii, tukienda barabara hii, na tunajigadi sisi wenyewe. Tunatembea, tunakuwa na watu wametuguard kwa kando hivi, tunajua kule tunaenda na kile tunakotaka. Polisi wakitaka kutuua, sawa, wamemine risasi zile watakazo kutaka kumimina. Najua kuna watu wa serikali hapa wanaosikiza. Najua hata labda state house wenyewe wanatusikiza sasa hivi. Kuna mambo ambayo kama wanataka kufanya kupeleka hii Kenya mbele, waanze sasa. The constitution of IBC ianze sasa, na sio tafadhali, na sio eti tunawaomba. Hapana, ni haki yetu. Sisi ndio tumewaandika kazi, wanalipwa na ushuru wetu. Sasa wao kama wanataka kufanya kazi, wafanye kazi, wasituitishe kwa mazungumzo. We don't want any talks, tunataka actions kwa sasa. Ruto asituambie kuwa anataka viongozi wetu kwenda kuzungumza nao. Sisi wote ni viongozi. Mikutano ya hizi space itakuwa kila siku kumweleza kile ambacho tunataka sisi kusema. Asiposema anajua tu Jumanne na Alhamisi tunatoka barabarani. Hatuendi kuibia mtu, hatuendi kunyanyasa mtu. Tunatoka kusema haki zetu. Yale mazungumzo atakayopata yote atayapata kwa hizi space kama anataka kuyasikiza. Hakuna kiongozi tunamtuma sijui wale kina Kibe kuja na space zao ambazo zinataka kudistract. Kina Khalif Cairo, we are grateful. Ulitoka mbele ukaenda ukakimbia, tunakushukuru sana. Wewe ni shujaa kwetu. Lakini sasa bwana, kama umechoka, shuka kimya bwana. Jiteremshe wewe mwenyewe vile ulivyokuja. Hakuna mtu alikuita. Vile utakavyotoka bwana, nenda. Kama pamechoka, tukichoka sote tutashuka. Lakini mtu asikuje na mawazo hapa ya kutuambia kuwa tunataka sisi tushuke. Hilo bwana, kuna watu wako hospitali sasa hivi, wanatolewa mabunduki, wanauguza majeraha sasa hivi. Watasikia vipi tukiwaambia kuwa ile struggle imeisha? Ni kwa nini walijitoa? Kuna wale waliofariki sasa hivi, wazazi wao wanawazika sasa hivi. Kina Hanifa hao mmeenda mkiwa condemn, sio kina Kimuzi mnalalamika mnawapatia majina. Achaneni na hawa vijana waliojaribu. Hii kitu ilianza pale, imeshika momentum, na msiseme there's someone taking over this revolution. Nobody owns the revolution. Hii yote bana ni watoto wetu. Tunafanya hivi sababu ya nini? Maisha ya watoto wetu mbele. Si kwa sababu yetu. Si wengine tutakufa labda kabla hii tuja realize whatever is happening right now. Lakini tunafanya hivi ndo Kenya kesho ibadilike. Ndo kesho maskini waweze kupata afya bora, waweze kupata elimu bora. Hatufanyi hizi sababu ya kiburi. Hapana, hata Ruto mwenyewe anafaa ajue. Hatumfanyii hivi sababu ya kiburi, hatumfanyii hivi kwa sababu tunamchukia. Akifanya yale mambo yanatakana kufanya, Wakenya wataacha watuongoze mpaka 2027, tumshukishe kwa kura. Lakini tunataka action sahihi. Tunataka haya mazungumzo, hatuta soften up jamaa. Tusitiwe hiyo roho kabisa. Tusifanye wanyonge kabisa yani. Sisi tumejileta mpaka mahali tumefika, tumesikizwa. Kwa nini nadhani Ruto alisema anatoa ile ninio? Ni sababu waliona venye kunakuwa watu wamekufa 30 ajali yeye. Juzi anaulizwa kuwa anajua kuwa mtoto alipigwa bude ngane, anasema kuwa mtoto mwenye risasi 8 kweli afya wa mzima wa na sisi tunasema kuwa kweli ametusikiza. Tuko hapa tunajipiga kifua kwa tumeshinda. Tuacheni mchezo ndugu zangu. Na kama tunataka kuliacha hili, tuliacheni kimya sote tutokeni hapa. Tukae kimya, tunyanyaswe vile Waganda wananyanyaswa kule Uganda. Tumalize tu ile bogi kama ataamua, maana tuko tushaamua atapewa mpaka 2032. Hiyo ndio conversation tribal bigots walikuwa wanatuambia. Tuketi hapo tukikuwa tukishukuru kuwa yeye atatuongoza mpaka 2032. Any other discussion ya yule kiongozi tunayemtaka 2032. That's a poverty mentality. Tunanyanyaswa tu, tunaketi tumekubali kunyanyaswa. Hatutaki vita, hatutaki kuuana, hatutaki wenyewe kufa. Sisi hatuendi maandamano kuua mtu bana. Polisi ndio wanarusha vita tear gas kwa maandamano ambao watu wako kimya. Watoto wadogo, watoto wa kike wanawapiga bunduki. Tumeona kabisa bungeni, tuko na picha za kutosha mitandaoni, tuko na video za kutosha mitandaoni, watu wanavyonyanyaswa, watu wanapigwa risasi. Tunataka kuzungumza nini na huyu bwana? Hakuna lolote analotuzungumzia. Analotuambia tu yote tunasikia yametoka kwa roho yake chafu. Ni roho mbaya tu inazungumza kila akizungumza. Sasa bwana yule ambaye amechoka, yule ambaye anaona bwana hiyo mzigo umekuwa mzito kwake, yule ambaye kwake anaona kuwa amekuwa na wasiwasi. Oscar, kindly wind up. Yeah, sure, I'm winding up, bro. Thanks for this opportunity, but again, we soldier on bana. Revolution haina formula bana. And until we get there, we've not achieved anything. Finance bill iko chonjo. Tutalipa hizo pesa sasa hivi. Tukicheza mchezo hata Julai haitafika, tutaanza kukatwa. Kwa hivyo bana serikali ijue hatuna ubaya sisi. IBC ndo tuanze nayo. Vile vile tunavyosema kesho hashtag mpya ya IBC. IBC nyoroshwe. Siku mwema ndugu zangu.
Shukran. And before Chen you speak, I can see Lord Abraham Mutai is the husband here, Gerald Bitok. Gerald Bitok, I just want to address you because you're in the state house and you listen to us, and I know you have approached many people trying to coerce us to be on your side or anything. No, we're just asking for one thing right now. Kidogo tu. Reconstitution of the LBC is what we want. A removal of CS positions is what you want. I know you're listening, and dissolving of the cabinet, because we are working things right. We are working like we respect the constitution. And as much as you say we are inciters, no, we are not inciters. We are just patriotic. We see things. And what I want to tell
I don't know, I can see I'm being muted.
Chenye naweza ambia tu watu, kila mtu, like what I can tell you, Bitok, just tell the president it's the bare minimum that we want. It's not that it is incitement, it's being patriotic. And Kenyans are not slow. They learn now. They are not dumb like back in the 90s. People have the power of information. Kindly. Okay, Etienne, you can take over. And Karani, I can hear you, but I don't think other people can hear you. There is something wrong with your mind. Etienne, you can take over. Then crash it.
Thank you so much, Kimuzi. I'm just going to ask for 4 minutes. So, Miss kujua hata Bitoka kwa hapa na natusikia. Shout out kwenyu mnatubo. By the way, you are the reason why all these people are dying. We must tell you as it is. You and your people is Kwanza, this intimidation is not going to work personally. If you've been following me, I've been in spaces giving out my legal opinion. And last I naka naona kama 60 accounts from this NIS or this government. Yeah, this 60 accounts. Why are you risking your reputation and speaking in Kimuzi's spaces? Hosts and speakers will be found. You likely get suspended. As in, mna overwork, by the way. You guys just need to take a back seat and listen to what we are saying. And I think we actually passed that point of listening. Guys, we need to have a road plan. We need to have a strategy for these demonstrations. This is how these people come here. These spaces are open to everyone. Wako State House wanna take down notes kama mang'ombe ndo to infiltrate, and then sisi kama wang'ombe wengine tunawasikia, and then we fall to their traps. Today, these goons were there. For sure, we should have anticipated this, yeah? I was in Miguna's space, and so many people have hated, saying, Amesema he's our leader, but I think I was in that space, and he's my senior counsel. He was just giving legal guidance, which is very true. I'm hearing people saying, calm down, let's not go to the streets. Where should we go to? Should we go and and dialogue with Ruto. The same Ruto that is sending people to kill us. Snipers. Umesahau Rex vile the 12-year-old child, guys. Is this the same person? Me personally, I'm a woman and I can't date a violent man. Do you know why? Because my cousin dated a violent man, and it's just like Ruto, guys. How watu watakuja the first time, atakuchapa, atakuonyesha his true colors, yeah? Like the way Ruto lectured us. Ataenda, ataona, umelia, umepiga watu wenyu. The next time anakuja kwa nyumba, anakuja na flowers, and if you're dating an alpha, hata anaweza kuangushia Mercedes Benz, anakuangushia do so that you forgive him. But where do you end up in the long run? You end up in the grave 6 foot under. So guys, these people are playing with us. Wanatubeba wana, Your finance bill, haijangushwa. I had the advocates over there, and that time I couldn't get the mic when someone was hosting. But that finance bill, wanatubeba wana, guys. The National Land Commission, I had an advocate talking about it, but it's not been echoed really strongly. So what these people do, the law regarding compulsory ni anga, guys, forgive me, acha ni breathe in and ni breathe out. Compulsory land acquisition, yeah? Compulsory land acquisition. This is the instances where the government wants to come, take land, maybe kuna barabara inapitia, kuna government project, kuna shule or anything of that. So always there is a commission, the National Land Commission, and it has protected the common mwananchi for so long. But now,
kindly wind up, umepitisha 4 minutes.
The CS anataka kupewa hii mandate. Huyu CS ni rafiki wa Ruto, guys. Mnadhani mtaenda kulilia kwa rafiki ya Ruto ati land yenyu imechukuliwa na hao ndio land grabbers? Guys, no. Let's go back to the streets. You can't negotiate with somebody who's trying to kill you. We can't negotiate with somebody who's trying to paint our agenda black. No, our voices should count, and let's have a roadmap. I've been seeing DMs, or let me just say this, Kimuzi. People are suggesting Kimuzi. The next time people say we have demonstrations, kama we are meeting at Nation Center, tunasema, let's meet at Nation Center. If we've met at Nation Center, tunasema, tunaenda kukaa hapo nje ya Parliament. Hapo nje ya Parliament, tunakaa, tunalia, tunamon wale comrades wetu. Si wale magunzi watakuwa na rob town, wana road maduka huko, they'll be in broad daylight, wataonekana. If all of us are sitting down and some specific group is out there stealing and the police are aiding and abetting them, it will be shown. So let's not back down, guys. Let's not back down. And Miguna is not our leader. Yeah, we are leaderless. We all have a voice. Thank you, Kimuzi.
Thank you. The next person was it Linda or Kashi?
Oh, hi there. I think it's my turn. Can people hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Karanja Matindi. I'm a Kenyan citizen, currently outside Kenya, but very much involved in what is going on in our country. Mine is really to start with my condolences to the families who have been bereaved through state action. It is most unfortunate that peaceful demonstrators were effectively murdered by state agents. The state is supposed to protect us. It has a duty to protect us, and it has failed. And the reason why it has failed is because it knows it has got no legitimacy. William Ruto has lost the legitimacy of the people of Kenya, and it is upon the people of Kenya to tell him so, to tell his advisors, including Mr. Bitok, whom I see is on this platform, and to tell him and them that the sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya. We can exercise it directly, or we can exercise it through our elected representatives. We know that the National Assembly has been corrupted. It has been corrupted by Ruto. The members of the National Assembly are willing to admit that they have been bribed. And in that respect, we cannot expect them to do what we want them to do. So it falls on us, as citizens, wherever we may be, to put pressure on the state, on William Ruto, to resign, really. It is going to be a long process. It is not going to be easy because he knows, as it was previously mentioned in the previous space, he shall be held to account for his actions. And that is why he is using state machinery to terrorize us, to kill people, even as we saw today in the demonstrations whereby people were clearly breaking the law and the police were watching and they were not taking actions. And previously we have seen what has happened when peaceful demonstrators have gone to the streets. In my opinion, I believe we should keep up the pressure in every way, every lawful way that we can. In every single lawful way that the Constitution allows us, we should keep up the pressure. Be it peaceful demonstrations, be it these platforms, these spaces, be it organizing for recall of members of the National Assembly and members of the Senate where appropriate. In terms of the law on recall, you can only recall an elected representative after 2 years. You need 30% of registered voters in a constituency. So speaking of, for example, a member of the National Assembly, you need 30% of registered voters in that constituency and at least 15% in half of the county assembly wards in that constituency. Signature collection it's just that you cannot present them to IEBC before the lapse of the 2 years. So I would encourage anybody and everybody in this space who is interested in looking into recalling their member of the National Assembly or their member of the Senate to start organizing, mobilize your fellow registered voters in your constituency and start collecting the signatures now. What do you need to collect the signatures? You need the name of the person, their ID, and confirmation that they are registered to vote in that particular constituency. Start that process once IEBC is constituted, and I believe that should also be one of the focus of our campaign. Get IEBC constituted because IEBC has got to be there for it to verify the signatures and then to do the recall confirmation. So we get IEBC constituted. And the other thing I believe we should start doing is to push MPs to remove the requirement for recall confirmation poll, because the recall is three processes really. You collect the signatures, IEBC verifies that you have met the number, IEBC then conducts a recall election for want of a better word, and then if the recall petition is accepted, then they do a by-election. We need to petition members of parliament to remove the requirement for a recall election. So if you meet the numbers, 30% of registered voters, which must include 15% in each county, in at least half of the county assembly wards, we remove the intermediary step, whereby if you meet the numbers, there's a by-election. I believe that should also be a focus of our peaceful campaign. It is a shame that we are where we are, because under the Constitution of Kenya, we had much hope. We still have hope. And it is encouraging that Kenyans are now saying enough is enough. Whenever we may be, we are saying enough is enough. I would encourage us to continue playing our role. The Constitution of Kenya has got no space for passengers. We all have to be active citizens. And it is time that we took back. There's a pernicious label of somebody being called an activist. Every one of us should be an activist. in defense of the Constitution of Kenya. The Constitution of Kenya is our only hope. It gives us everything that we need to make sure that the country is run in a way that is responsive, in a way that respects our rights as individuals as well as communities. And it also provides us a way of solving our problems in a way that is equitable. So, and that is why it has always been opposed by the ruling class, because it cuts their feet off, so to speak. If they do not obey the Constitution, we must hold them to account without any apology. So, as we continue with this agitation, please let us keep our focus. Let us not give up, because we know we are dealing with a ruthless person. Everybody knows the history of William Ruto. The only reason why William Ruto became president is because it could be said at the ballot box, we were faced with the choice of either vomiting or diarrhea. And that is not much of a choice. We deserve much, much better. He has desecrated the office of the president. He must be told so in no uncertain term. He's a vengeful person. He's a narcissist. He does not listen. He does not care. The only person that matters to William Ruto is William Ruto. And as the citizens of Kenya, wherever we may be, we must assert our supremacy and the supremacy of the Constitution, because that is the only way we can live in a way that dignifies each and every one of us wherever we may be. If I may say so, thank you for everybody who has taken the time to join these spaces, to exchange their ideas, to give their views, because it is only then that we are able to see where we are, to check, celebrate our wins. And coming back to the Finance Bill 2024, we need to be very, very careful, because, okay, the president has entered reservations under Article 115 of the Constitution. And it is going to go back to the National Assembly, I believe, after the 23rd of July. He may require his members of the National Assembly to reject his reservations. What does that mean? 2/3 of members of the National Assembly can reject the presidential reservations. If they reject the presidential reservations, then that bill passes, as it was passed, I think, on the 25th of June. Ruto doesn't care about Kenya. The Appropriation Act, or the Appropriation Bill, was signed. I think it was signed on Friday, the last Friday, which was the 28th. It became law on yesterday, which was the 1st of July. And as it was mentioned previously, the Appropriation Act is the one that gives authority to spend public funds. At the moment, in my opinion, that Appropriation Act is unconstitutional, because 340 billion hole in the Appropriation Act of 2024. We know that Ruto is not going to give up 340 billion that easily. So there is a likelihood that he will require his MNS, his members of the National Assembly, to reject his reservations, which would mean that the Finance Bill of 2024 becomes law. So we must not lose sight of that. It was previously stated that as we are becoming more savvy, we are becoming more educated in terms of what is the role of Parliament, what is the role of the National Assembly, what is the role of the Senate. We need to pay more attention to the bills that are being brought in the National Assembly, in the Senate, because they affect our lives. And say, for example, the salaries which kicked in today, actually, the Gazette notice which brought them in was passed, or rather was published on the 9th of August 2023. So the Gazette notice was published in August 2023. it was staged in the sense that some of the provision came into effect for the financial year 23-24, and for the 24-25, they are the ones that came in yesterday. So that law has always been there since August last year. So we do need to be careful. We need to pay attention to what is happening in the National Assembly with the constitutional commissions, because SRC, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, has got the sole mandate of setting the salaries and benefits for MPs, MNAs, judges, and other state officers. So they do that independently. And the only control, if you like, that they have is when they do public participation. We all have different views about the effectiveness of public participation, but anyway, so that is where we are. So I would encourage people, please keep yourself informed. Please do not write yourself out. You're an important part of the governance of Kenya. Give your views.
Karanja, kindly wind up.
Thank you. Yes. So give your views. Do not rule yourself out. You're an important part of the infrastructure, and we need to keep the pressure, because heavens forbid that Ruto remains unchallenged. It's going to be a dark place, but we shall not allow, because in our different ways we are going to play our role to make sure that he does not, he cannot. Yes, so if you care Ruto, as the saying goes. So thank you for this opportunity, and all the best. Do take care and stay safe. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you.
Santi sana, Mr. Karanja. I think before I go in, Kimuzi, wacha nipatie huyu ni Mwagige aongee. Ameinua mkono for a minute. Wacha tusikie before I go in. Jumii na sikuji kuwapatia solutions. Mimi nakuja kuwapasha kidogo. Miss Gige, you can take on.
Oh, okay, thank you. What I actually wanted to say is, someone from the previous space that we had said if we could kindly try to focus on the matters at hand to avoid hizo nini mingi, ndio tusilose audience and watu wasiboeke. If we're talking about focusing on kureinstitute IEBC ikuwe ndio topic of nini, tuseme watu wakienda maandamano Thursday, let it be we're going for IEBC, we're going for IEBC.
Yeah, sawa Miss Gigi. Okay. Mimi niko na I think two or three things before I give out the speaker to the next speaker. Kimuzi, mnanisikia? First of all.
Yeah, we can hear
you.
Tunakusikia.
Yeah, kitu ya kwanza mimi niko na nataka kuongelesha watu wana incite watu to go to the streets. Okay, it's good to go to the streets, but mbona una incite msaende streets? Na wewe siku ya kutokea streets uko hapo umekaa kwa bed yako. Unaangalia tu msee mmoja ametweet from CBD. Washaika tweet, unaona ati yote ya gas moja imetupwa, you can't go there. Then uko hapo kila siku kwa space, uko hapo kwa timeline yako. You're just there saying occupy sijui whatever. Man, hii kitu iwaki hivyo. Hivyo kona hiyo courage ya unatokea. Me personally nilikuwa abducted, but the same day was abducted. Ilikuwa street ya Tuesday niliachiliwa. Reason, mimi najua chenye napigania. Wewe kama uwezi na unajua kwa Kenya. Me personally actually naongea na watu wa Kenya. Hao watu wenye kwa majuu kina Kimuzi kina Cash inaeleweka, lazima mtapush online for us. But kama unajua uko hapa area, you can't even go to the streets. Usikuje kutupasha, usikuje kutuambia wao tungeingia. Mwaka gani? Huyo ni mtu atusaidia hata kidogo, huyo ni mtu. Thursday alafu hiyo Tuesday ingine. Na hizo chances za wase wakilut mahali no. Kwa nini? Juu protesters walikuwa peaceful na wangekuwa wengi wange overpower, but protesters ni kidogo na protestant ndo wanaekelewa. Kama tunatoka kwenda street peaceful, tutokee watu wengi, tuache kupimana akili, kuambiana hapa ati kulienda kukaenda, nimepata hera ndio siku bwana. Hata sisi tunafunga kazi zetu kuingia streets, na si ati sisi tunaingia street juu hatuna kazi yenye tunaweza fanya kwa street. Tuko na kazi mingi za kufanya, tutafunga biashara zetu juu ya hii kitu. Mimi nikiona mzee Kenya, uko na all resources, unaweza fika CBD, ujeni wenzako muandamane peaceful, yet you can't do that bwana. Haiwaki hivyo. Sikuja kutuambia kitu. Kaa uko ambia watu wa kwenu, sisi usikuja kutuambia ati tusiingie streets bwana. Inauma sana. Mnachochana hapa. For example, jana usiku kila mtu alikuwa Monday usiku kila mtu alikuwa amepost nini hapa timeline. Tunapatana streets kesho. Tunapatana streets very ready for Tuesday. Hiyo videos GRAO. Leo ukaweza niuliza watu walikuwa streets hata sidhani wanafika 1000. Reason mnachochana hapa, mshauziana uoga, unaambiana unatokea na unajua kama huwezi tokea sehemu huwezi tokea. Wale watu watakuwa watokee wafanye shughuli yao wa demonstrate peacefully like we always do. Sikuje kutoa advice na kuna street tunatokea siku hata. I think you're not going you can unaweza okay just say kidogo.
First, I would like to condone with the guys that the protests, we know the time we have is limited. We need to move quick. But then I think we are distracted on spearheading the movement. We are encouraging ourselves to show up for the demos. But on the other side, we have a multitude infiltrating the demonstrations every now and then. We have goons being sent from all over to come and make the peaceful demos to be distracted, people to end up looting and all that. I was just suggesting that now that we have people like Akina Kimuzi, who and many others who are pushing people to show up for the demonstration, we can have a team on the side whose role can be just to come up with ideas on how we can handle this multitude, these people that keep affecting the demonstration. We can also be heavy on sensitizing the youth, these kids that keep because I personally had on TikTok the other day, it was a live, these kids were saying that the other day we ate lunch in Parliament, today it's KFC, tomorrow we have people who to them it's a thrill, it's like a whole experience. They don't really understand why they're on the streets. They don't really understand the repercussions of doing what's right. We have very limited time. We need to move quick. But moving without direction, again, we might end up in a crash. We are not against demonstrations. What we need is to have a proper plan, because now we are making decisions on the go. We need to have, let's say, if somebody is here on this side pushing people to show up, let us be heavy. Let us sensitize. I don't know what we have to do. Let people know why we are really demonstrating. Yes, we don't have jobs. Yes, we are lacking a lot of things, but people need to know why they are on the streets. This is about patriotism. It's about, and we need to curb. We already know it's a problem. We have people being paid to come and affect the peaceful demonstrations. How then can we handle these people? we make examples of them. We make examples of these people, and we need to be heavy so that it's not just about, oh, you guys show up tomorrow, do not loot, let it be peaceful. Let us let them know that we are doing this for Kenya. If you are found in the street and you are trying to do things contrary, because we have very limited time, it's just a matter of time that if we continue moving without direction like this, then because people are saying Ruto must go. Okay, we also need to have on the law. We need to have structures already in place. I like the what the guy has said concerning collection of signatures. That's a whole plan, a whole structure in motion. We need foundation. We have, let's say if it's collection of signatures, okay, people on the side, people are collecting signatures. We're not just demonstrating, so that when they hear what we want, and then what next. So we need things in motion, things in play. If we're on this other side, we need again a team sensitizing people on and teaching people on how these signatures are done. We need on the other side, if we are saying Ruto must go, educate us again on what will happen to the country, what will happen to us after they have heed to what we want. People need understanding. People need to move with understanding. And we have very limited time. It's already not overlook them again. And then we are saying now, Jana Odion, these boys are throwing stones at the police. Police wanarusha tear gas. Like, sijui maneno in escalate very quick. But these kids need to know. We need to let them know. Mkienda street, let's be heavy. Those people who know, tell them, be strict on them. Hapa Twitter, wacha isikuwe tu maandamano tuonekane, kukuwe na warning. Ukipatikana maandamano na wewe unajua intentions zako ni hivi na hivi, tutakuchapa. Because people say, Ruto is killing us, the police are killing us. But truth be told, there are those who are going there with malicious intentions. Na hawa ndio watu wanatuletea changamoto. But then they also know.
Yasmin, kindly
Yeah?
wait up. Pia msee mwingine ongea juu ya masaa pia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to emphasize on that. Let us just not move, because yes, we are angry and we are hungry and we need to be heard. We need answers, but we need structures. We need proper foundational structures on the other side going on. I don't know whether these things are happening, but we need things happening again on the other side, so that even when they hear us, there is another thing again to take place already. Not just that they will just hear us, and then who again are we going to leave things to whose hands? Yeah, thank you. I think that's what I wanted to just emphasize on. Let's be heavy on the demonstrations.
Okay, thank you. So we love Cosmos, then Modhoni. Kama unataka kuongea, you just raise your hand, then you'll go next. Cosmos, then Modhoni. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Worried about the infiltration, and it would be naive to start a revolution and expect that the power B will not going to infiltrate whatever you are doing. And yes, this morning I went through the space and I found Kibe's space. And when you listen to that space, you just find out that it's a government space. So they'll infiltrate the spaces, they'll infiltrate the physical demonstration, and they'll even infiltrate any type of leadership, even the hosts, like the Kibe space. So that one is going to happen. Number two, this morning, I was in town this morning and I saw those guys who came in, and it looked like they were even driven in by the security forces. And we are talking about structures. If you are talking about structures, definitely, then the leaderless part of the revolution is going to die out automatically, because if you are talking about recalling MPs, then some physical work will have to happen there. But then you need to focus. We need to focus on one thing or the other. You know, I've seen the fear being sold here that if dealing with everything and everyone. That person you are talking about, then that's not a revolution. It's rather just generally my position is that people should not bother about the infiltration. It was bound to happen, and it will happen. People just focus on what they are doing and move forward, do it. And they were ruthless. Now, if they are ruthless as messengers, what about now when they are the ones at the top? They will definitely infiltrate everything. Just move forward. We used to be infiltrated. The campuses used to have guys who would be in school for 20 years. They will never leave. Unaenda first year unakuta mtu ako third year, unaenda unatoka unamwacha huko. And that person is just there so that when the students start planning anything, is going to inform more. So the idea of infiltration should not bother. You should just move forward. They'll be there. Ulisikia Songo akisema vile alikuwa anaenda wanachoma gari. So everybody will say that it is the government, it is the protesters. Guys, watu wasichoke. And don't be scared when you go to the maandamano nakuta mko watu 1,500. People are like that. So just guys, push on. Wale tunakuja tunatoka, wengine tunaogopa kukimbia. Tulikimbia sana, but we are very happy about what you guys are doing. By the way, I've also listened to some of the guys on the horse wanasema the previous generation were let down. We did not have the resources you have now, like the benefits of internet, lakini tulisukuma to be where we are now, the spaces, the freedoms we have, the devolution. A lot of people died. Tulikuwa tunafungiwa house arrest. Kwa hivyo tulifanya kazi yetu, and we are happy that you guys have taken it over, and we are going to support wherever we can. Thank you very much, and must give up.
So Cosmos.
Hi.
Wait.
Hello.
And Miss Robin, kindly
Yes.
mute your mic dog. Tunaenda na the next speaker was Modoni. So and before Modoni comes in, kama unajua umeongea na you can drop ndo watu wengine pia wapewe the mic, na kama intend kuongea pia drop juu. Kama intend kuongea juu, mbona uko hapa juu? Naweza pia, kama unataka kuongea inua mkono utaenda next, na kama intend kuongea na ukiongea pia teremkia hapo chini, pia speakers wengine waongee ndo tukiendelea. Modoni, it's your turn.
All right, thank you so much, Kimuzi. I'd first like to send my condolences to the ones that have lost people, and my prayers to those that are injured in hospital. We can't relent, we can't let up. I think it's also time for us to also start studying other strategies. other countries that have been successful in getting their governments and they were talking about how when they had these guys that were infiltrating, the peaceful protesters would form barriers. So if this guy does, I'm not saying that the ones in Kenya can't do it, because these guys have been told they can do whatever they want by Kindiki. So we need to study these strategies. We also need to study their governments and see how similar were they to ours, and what can we use in terms of what the protesters did that was successful. Tumefika hiyo point, because I understand where everyone is coming from. We can keep complaining day in, day out, asubuhi, mchana, jioni, but without actually effecting these things, without actually studying these things, we're not going to be able to see the change that we want. Number two, any army that has done anything in the world had to actually sometimes retreat and re-strategize. There's no harm to it. The only harm would be if we take too long to do that. If we take too long to do that. Na kama mmenotice kitu gava inafanya, najua kuna wase wa gava hapa. If there's something that government people are doing, is that they're listening in, going, giving in their report and saying, this is what these guys are planning on doing. We need to look for other channels so that we can be discreet, guys. I'm going to be very honest and very loud about that. Other channels to be discreet. There's other ways we can actually communicate without necessarily having to use Twitter to mobilize people. There's so many other ways to do that. Because the only way our South Africa is because they have the information, because we're here and we're giving it to them. And so they can go and report. Number two, if we can be as unpredictable as possible, we will throw these guys off. Najua wanasikia lakini ni ukweli. We will throw them off. Kabisa. And I think it's time we start also exploring some of these options. Because, like, for example, what happened this Sunday and the other Sunday is wase walikuwa town, and there was hakukuwa na vurugu. Guys were peaceful. There were no goons. There were barely any policemen. In fact, the other Sunday, because I was in town the other Sunday, the policemen came towards the end when they were figuring, like, ni kama walikuwa wameambiwa, oh, by the way, kuna watu tao, inakaa ni kama ni protests, ishieni. So we need to just figure out and put together other avenues as opposed to trying to stick to one, and we are seeing that the one is clearly isn't working or isn't doing as well as it was in the beginning. So yeah, those are just my pointers and my options. Yeah, Bitok, kama bado uko unaweza fikishia hii ujumbe kwa watu wako. It is totally okay. Yeah, but guys, we can't relent. Right now is not the time to relent. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker, and currently, ukipewa mic, just summarize. Come already unafaa kusha summarize whatever you want to say. So equal to between 3 to 4 minutes at max. So the next speaker will be Joseph Philip, then the Lil King, followed by Miss Robin. Then from there we'll know the way forward. Joseph, it's your turn.
Okay, thank you guys. I would like to say that something here. I have been to streets even the previous Sunday, the last Sunday, and I want to support the God by the point which he was talking about. Wenyewe wase leo mmelalisha vibaya sana. Street were barely naked, and due to that, the goons have to take advantage of that. Were barely naked, and if you were to have a chance of making it into the streets and look and shout for your freedom or shout for your democracy or practice your democracy, and you never made it because you are a coward, my friend, shame on you. It is so painful. Someone like me coming all along from Tanzania. I'm a Kenyan citizen, but I was in Tanzania, but I had to come last Monday. Ndio nika exercise Tuesday, and I tried my best to exercise highway cooled. Some of you and some of my friends saw me on the television. Na nataka kusema last time your Tuesday, the previous Tuesday, we made it because we had unity and psych was there. Juu psych ilikuwa hapo, me I had to sacrifice my life. I had to go and face those police officers and tell them the truth. My friend, stop failing us. Kama unaweza tokea street, usikwe tu ni wewe tu ni mse wa internet, wewe sijui ni mse wa kupewa psych. Hii kitu is now or never. We have tumesha light fire, tumeshafungulia moto, tumeshawasha moto. Tukirelent tu to take a little step backward, huyu jamaa mnamjua ataanza ku take down one by one. Na kitambo ifike 2027 eti mseme eti acha tufike 2027 tutamtoa eti ndio tuanze kampeni ya sijui eti Ruto must go. It will be too late, my guys. Tutakufa kama inzi. Huyo jamaa mnamjua, so eti ni first time. Okay, leo yenyewe nimekuwa street. Sunday nilikuwa street na tulikuwa tuna hiyo candle lighting na tukaenda mpaka Kenyatta Hospital. It was so peaceful. Maskari walikuwa wanatu escort, tunaongea na wao, tunapiga story na wao kwa barabara. Hatukuwa na shida. It was so peaceful. And that what I expected. Nilishtukia watu nilikuwa nachukulia ni kidogo. Lakini they came from nowhere. All of a sudden tulikuwa wengi na tulikuwa tunamobilize watu. I expected watu tuje kwa street. Leo tungejaa kwa street, I'm sure tungeenda tutoe Ruto kwa penye tunge achieve our aim. Tunge achieve our goal. But sijui niseme ni nini imefanyika. I was so sudden. Hakuna kitu ilikuwa inafanyika town. Na that's why how goons walipata chance ya kufanya kitu anafanya. Mimi ilibidi nikue side ya media ndio ni watch over kitu inafanyika. Na nilikuwa naona ni goons kabisa walikuwa street. Juu wanafukuza polisi, wakilemea polisi warudi nyuma. Hawataki kusonga mbele kama basi aim yao ni kwenda street watoe Ruto venye tulikuwa tumepanga. Hawataki kusonga mbele, wanakaa tu hapo. Tena wanashambulia wakiona polisi wameenda nyuma kabisa. Wanarudi wanaanza kubomoa maduka. What is that, my guys? But if we could have that unity, like before, I'm better sure of how wase wangepata chance ya kufanya ufala wanafanya. If ile unity hata yenye tulikuwa niko sure tulikuwa kitu kama 1000 hivi kwa streets ama kitu something hiyo Sunday kwa candle lighting na tukakuja kuzunguka street tukimobilize wase. Lakini tulifanya something great. Tulikuwa na unity. Tulikuwa tunasonga kama ni kukaa tunakaa. Tunaona our heroes our fallen soldiers. Nilikuwa best, my friend. Kila mtu alikuwa anaadmire. Okay. Kitu nataka pia kuwakumbusha manze. Kuna wale wase mnaweza fikia wale kina Khalif Cairo, sijui Anifa, wenye walikuwa wamesha give up. Waambie the battle is not yet. Ndio waliwasha moto. Wanafaa wakuje kumaliza hizi vita. Hakuna history wameacha. Sisi kuingia parliament hiyo sio history. Our history will remain wakati tutakuwa tumefulfill what we want to achieve. So if we back off, this man will fuck us off. Please guys, let us mobilize ourselves. Let us build up strategies and way to get to victory. Let us not back off. Please guys, have a good night. Let me be short for the next time. Be blessed.
Sawa, asante Jose. Lil Kim, it's your turn.
All right, thank you so much for the chance. First of all, I would like to express my deepest condolences for families and friends of those who are killed for the cause. I'm basically from Ethiopia, and I think most of you are aware of the situation in Ethiopia nowadays. We have been fighting a regime, as it is declared a genocide on us, on an entire region of Amhara region. So I would like to share some very interesting concepts from my experience. You guys are so fearless and courageous. Proud of you, Kenyans. Really proud of you. And I think the entire continent of Africa should be proud of you. Your journey might be taking much more time, but you will be resulting in a fruitful and historic outcomes, I would say. So really, really, really wonderful job. Yeah, having said this, I think you need to be strategize things in a very solid form based on your wonderful constitution. I see many more great minds here. I've been attending your spaces for quite a while now. So you have many more expertise in different areas. So I think you need to choose those minds and get a collective strategy to be done soon. Besides that, I think you need to have a link tree for everybody to post and repost whenever you are just hosting a space. And those of you who are able to write articles in a very articulated and expressive way, that would be more appreciated. And of course, it's your duty. And now is the time, guys. Now or never. Dawn doesn't come twice to awaken a man, right? So, yeah, after then, I think you need to reach out the national medias if that's able to be accessed, and of course, medias outside. And you have to probably select people based on their academic profile, like to be more precise while they're just being presenting your cause. Yeah, and one thing which I found it's a bit hard to go ahead. I think you need to be organized in a very demanded way, unless it might be a bit hard. As you can see, I see about a week before, I think, Kimuzi was hosting a space, and about 92,000 people were attending that space. But now, numbers are just declining time to time. That means there's a very visible infiltration from the government side. So, of course, that's expected, and you need to expect those things to happen even in the future. But as long as you're going to be united, you can defeat all those challenges. So we're waiting for you, and we're fighting for ourselves actually, but finally we'll be having a wonderful space to live. So that's my submission for today. Thank you so much, and keep it up, guys.
Okay, thank you. So I think it's Miss Robin Ahmed, then Tony Karom.
Hi guys. Can you hear me? All right.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I was following today about the protests that were done today. So I have seen that we are trying to. We are trying to how can I put it? We're trying like to not be together, which is why Ruto is so happy. I know probably the advisors are here telling him that we are here at this space. Kuna mtu anaongelelea about fertilizer, mwingine anaongelelea about town today, mwingine anaongelelea about Millicent Omanga. He is very happy because he knows all of us, we are divided now. And what can we do about it? Remember, he's a dictator. Dictators know when they win. And number one, tumefanya vizuri because tuna oppose this regime, which is very good. Number two, we are not applying steady pressure. This is why he's winning. So mine is very short, just to let you know that we are supporting you in each and every way. Sisi wenye tuko online, we are doing that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Robert. Ahmed.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. Let me take this time to appreciate the listeners and the organizers of the space. What we have seen today, if I start with the event and what unfolded in the country today, I can say it was successful and tragic. Especially if I share with you a small story. There's a friend of mine who came back recently from abroad and he invested in Nairobi so much. But his wealth and all his shops in town were looted, almost 3 shops. So, you know the strategy now and the why you are here tonight is very important. Because the next step as a youth we will take, it should be something that will not affect the investors and also other youth, but should be something that will liberate and revolutionize the country. But they know the tactics they are applying, the government and the leaders, is even much ahead of what we are planning. Because if I share with you, for example, today in Mombasa, cars were burnt, civilians were armed. So now how will you protest? What will you do? We should change totally this strategy and come up with new ways of surviving and changing and bringing out our cries clearly without harming other Kenyans and the normal civilians who are as well suffering like us. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Kimuzi. I think you can hear me. I need to clarify an issue with, of course, I'm sorry for the businesses that were looted today, but the kind of damage that this government and the politicians in power are doing is not even comparable to the damage that has been done during the protests. This is something that has been going on for a long time, and I believe it's a noble cause that Kenyans are fighting for. So I have some issues here which go down as a tree. I think it's a strategy that we can try to use. It's not a secret. I know NIS are here, government advisors are here, and this will happen anyway. This happens. It's not a secret. Because I am 90% sure that the NIS report tonight, the psychoanalysis report of the protests today, is that we are afraid of infiltration. I think that is the report that has been tabled today.
Nasikia Tony akiongea ama amepotea kwangu peke yake.
Ni kama amepotea.
That ni usaidi yangu peke yangu.
Unanisikia?
Sasa tunakusikia. Yeah. Kwa umepotea.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that I'm 90% sure that the NIS report tonight is that we are afraid of infiltration. So I think we need to contemplate our next move in as much as we want to discuss about the next protests. But I think I will leave this for the big wigs, those guys who have mass following on Twitter. We need, first thing tomorrow, if you can hear me, first thing tomorrow is that we need to mass unfollow government bloggers. They're just 25 to that, I think. What if all of us must unfollow all those bloggers? First thing tomorrow is that we need to. I think that is workable. That is something that can be done. The second thing of the idea that tomorrow we start pushing a hashtag of IBC to be reconstituted. We need to push that. It will brand.
Anze Tony, network yako unapotea sana. Kama sahi hivi kama unaongea tu kusikii total. Unapotea sana.
Naweza bonga?
Ngoja, wait QX. Tony sahi umerudi tena. Unarudi kupotea.
Narudi na sahi, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you, but unaongea alafu after a while unapotea tena.
Okay, I was saying on my third point, if you can hear me, we need to create an alternative reality of how things should be. That is, we need to exploit the trigger of other Kenyans, because I can tell you from the ground, other Kenyans, other generations were waiting for a trigger to join the protests with those who are protesting today. But government, one way or another, they were ahead of us, and we did not manage to trigger other Kenyans into joining the protest. Every Kenyan, including government advisors who are in this space tonight, they know what we are fighting for is a noble cause. I know deep inside their hearts, they know.
Tony again. Unapotea.
The goat naweza ongea?
You can, but wacha tuanza na QX na Niju alikuwa ameuliza kama anaweza ongea, then we get to you, then to Ali Abdul. QX. Sawa. QX whatever. Yeah, you can.
Okay. Mimi nilikuwa nasemaje? Hello, mnanisikia Kimuzi?
Ya, tunakusikia.
Hello?
Tunakusikia.
Okay, mimi nilikuwa nasema wase watoke kwa grao. Maandamano ya Tuesday yenye tulianza nayo nilikuwa kwa grao. Ilikuwa at least Thursday tuka improve. Then the following Tuesday tukaua kabisa na ilikuwa perfect. Thursday yenyewe ilifuatia tena wase tuka deep sasa kabisa. Leo ikago south kabisa. So mimi Kenya nasema wase wengi wenye tunaongea hapa hivi kwa spaces wase watoke grao, and I don't know why we talk a lot, tunabonga. Kifika ni kutoka grao atutokei. Then wase wajatokea grao wanakuja wana discourage na wase walikuwa grao wanakuja kutuzia tena uoga sijui nini and
amepotea ama niko zako?
Kama amepotea.
Okay, so Tony unaweza wind up, then we go to Matsogot. Tony ulikuwa na some points ulikuwa unaongea already. I hope say you may fix your network.
Yeah, I'm hoping you can hear me now.
Yeah, we can. So just zidini make them short so the other speakers can, yeah.
I'm of the opinion that tomorrow maybe we can find a way to start pushing a hashtag for reconstitution of IBC immediately. I think that should be our focus right now. The last point actually was as guys who are on X and TikTok, we need to create the reality of how things should be in Kenya. We need to talk about unga, how they are and what we want them to be, how we know they can be like this. We need to talk about university fees. We need to talk about so many things that have been overinflated, but we need them to go down. For that, we are not doing that.
Tony again, your network is messing up. Mads, Tony akifix network. Shatusikia unasemaje?
Yeah, asante sana. So mimi niko na idea tofauti kidogo, so natumai pengine tutaenda sawa. Idea yangu number one, we need to kurudi back kwa drawing board. Kwa nyinyi wote ambao unaoffer this space ya hapa hivi, inabidi muifanye na different way. You see, like these people ambao wote ma politician ambao wote wanatujoin kwa space, they are our biggest enemies. So inafaa kwanza, whenever they join wanakuwa blocked, kwa sababu whatever we are discussing hao ndo wanapeleka kule. Even some of these white people we see here, most of them ni enemies wetu, so pia wao wanakuwa blocked. Hiyo ni idea tu, mtu asichukue personal. And then another one, say physically tuko fit, why don't we try, instead of kupush another thing, tuseme ati mambo na sijui hiyo mambo na election sijui ni, why don't we try to wa push agenda ya like wase wafunge like 3 days and then to come back kwa ground. Na si ati tunafunga kwa sababu sisi ni Wakristo, sisi ni Waislamu, sisi ni mapaga, no. Tunafunga kwa the name of our country, unajua. So tutakuwa like spiritually fit, na hata tukikam kwa ground pia tuko physically fit, kwa sababu tukiamua tuende in one way tutafail. Kwa sababu unaona sasa kama hawakam kwa ground kwa sababu wameanza kuwa drained. Wamekuwa drained kwa sababu hii war ina start from spiritual area. So we need to go to church to fast like 3 days. So ikiwezekana the next maandamano ambayo inafaa ikuwe Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday next week ikuwe cancelled. Ikuwe waeke ya prayer and fasting. Na mtu ana pray na ana fast in his own way. We unaamini mambo ya ancestors, you do it in your way. Kama ni Muislamu, you do it in your way. Kama ni Mkristo, you do it in your way. Hivyo. Yangu ni hayo tu. Asante.
Thank you, Miles. I think naona watu wamenua mikono, but see first year Ali Abdul juu amekuwa for a minute, then you can go back to Tony Karoma and the QX.
Don't forget me.
Okay, pardon? Can I go ahead?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, good morning everyone. It is 2, I'm very happy to be here, and I've been listening a lot from most of the members and the contribution. They are very, very positive. There's something that I've noted, which I would really want to share with everyone. Number one, the government is the opponent here. First, you have to learn about your opponent. Ambiguity is also one of the mechanisms that you need to employ so that you deal with the government. When you are in the open, like we are today, okay, it's good that we have technology today. We are using it to our advantage and also to enlighten people about the movement. But also there are disadvantages, especially when you're dealing with the government that has actually security apparatus. Today, I know you have so many of them. You need to work on it. We cannot discuss everything here because I understand security matters. Let us leave that there. The gaps that we have emanates from leadership. I've been in Mandamano. In fact, we are the people who have been running Mandamano behind Baba. Gen Z must also be ready to learn. It's not a challenge. I've been in several forums. They are dismissing people with experience. So this is something that we must tone down and learn. Gen Zs actually, some of them are young. They don't understand completely who is the opponent. The opponent is William Ruto. The opponent is the government. The opponent is the police and everyone else. We only got a friend that's military. But because of the knowledge they have taken them back. Wananchi works better with the military than police. So you must understand every move the government makes, they know where you're moving and they know the strategy and why they are withdrawing the military. They saw your behavior with the military and your behavior with the police. Let us leave that there. Most of the people, now Kenyans, I can tell you up to 80% of Kenyans don't want this country. Save for tribalism here and there. Actually, that is something that is actually affecting every Kenyan, plus all of us here. But we have a common factor, that is Kenya. Kenya, our country, where each and every graduate wants to get a place to earn something. That's what is bringing us together. Otherwise, we are tribal. That's another thing we need to deal with. But understand that 80% of Kenyans don't want the government. That's why we came out. We demonstrated. Get it? So how do you get these people back on the street? People are ready, very much ready, but there is fear. The government we're dealing with use death first as a fear factor. The government we're dealing with will use the police to brutalize. During the time of Moi up to now, and even those who are in leadership, actually, a children of Moi, so they understand it. The deputy and the president, plus all the people who are there. The young guys who are in parliament have failed us. Only a few we can count. They love money. And it is in this government, for the first time, that our parliament, up to 45%, if not 50%, are people who are wash guys. Good tongue, lashing tongue, and they don't have respect. Completely. We are not calling names, but we know people by their characteristics. So, guys, number one thing is to fix leadership. Demonstration, people will come out. Then, focus actually disintegrates the moment there is that absence of leadership. Don't fear talking about leadership of Gen Zs. You can't be amorphous. There must be some system. We must have some system on the street. You play, people dance, and there is someone who speaks and directs the demonstrators. Tell them path of danger, safe areas, and that is how to caution thieves and those who are looting. Number one thing, public address system is needed. So that whenever you see somebody trying to loot, because it's so painful, lose your business. Like I saw in Mombasa, a gentleman trying to save his business using a pistol, people stoning him. He could not run. You see, I didn't love that scene because that's all he had. For sure, that was so painful. And I know these are goons hired by government. Last time you saw them along the expressway, how they damaged everything. Today I saw them actually looting coffins. Where do you take coffins? Stage managed by the government. So that now they have a reason to come with force. That happens, it's a challenge on the Gen Zs because the government knows very well that the main weakness that you have, you speak everything on this space. That's number one. Number two, lack of leadership. Number three, focus. If you ask each and everyone on the street after burning parliament, which I don't know the kind of people did it, But it was good to enter parliament for the first time to tell MPs what is supposed to be done. That was a plus. If it happened as a chance, and in fact it was a growth. You saw MPs now actually behaving. But after that, the understanding of the young people is that we need to follow it with a bigger thing.
Ali uta summarize or wind up kindly.
Okay, I understand that. So I want to summarize. Let me not talk much. Leadership is a gap the government is exploiting. Focus is a gap the government is exploiting. The government will employ only one thing, goons. And we will come like business community. Wait for them, they will come. So how are you going to do it? That's the next focus. Thank you.
Haya, asante sana. So actually juu pia Kimuzi anataka kwenda kwa shamba ya kitunguu asubuhi. Tuna wind up, so tunamalizia na watu wenye wako hapo speaker panel. So turn yako ikifika, you just summarize your points ndo tumalize in the next, I think by kila mtu 2 minutes by saa 8:30 maliniko will just be done, na kila mtu pia apumzike juu kesho pia shughuli kama kawaida. Mboka ndo mboga. Tony, I give you 2 minutes at most. Even that will kushaongea.
Thank you. If you can hear me now, I think I'll have to summarize on the last point yenye nilikuwa najaribu ku paint a picture of what these protests mean for other Kenyans who are not on the streets during those protests. This issue is no longer about Gen Zs alone. Remember, in the first place, it wasn't about Gen Zs alone. It was about all Kenyans, only that the Gen Zs were courageous enough to come out. So, we have a whole reserve of Kenyans behind us who are waiting for a trigger to come and join the protest. The government knows that. It is up to us, even if a certain speaker has said we cannot speak everything on this space. But I think this is not a secret. It is something that will culminate into it. We need to find ways and to exploit the trigger that will make other Kenyans to join the Gen Z. That is the only way. Maybe it's probably a good direction for the government to listen to what is being said. I am saying this from a point of view, an experience I have. I am a correspondent in Kiambu, and I've been speaking with the people there, asking them what they think about the protest, and 90% of Kenyans who are silent are actually supporting what is happening. It's only that different ages, different generations, kuna wenye waliingiza baridi, watu wamekuwa conditioned that even the gava inafanya. But right now, they've been jolted into reality and they are actually supporting that. They are waiting for a trigger. I don't know how we will find a trigger for them to join in. So I was thinking we can create an alternative reality, the real reality of how things should be. Somebody suggested that we can use propaganda. But in this case, it's the government which is using propaganda. We can only use the reality. We have to create that reality, to paint that reality to them. We are talking about fees. We are talking about the cost of living, how it should be if the government was doing what it's supposed to do. So I think I have to give somebody else the mic. Okay. And thank you for the chance.
Thank you. Beryl, 3 minutes at most, then God disable, then we call it a night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Give me 100.
Yeah, we can.
9 is just an insight. First of all, I'm really with the families that lost their loved ones. But there's something that should be an eye-opener that first, remember, it was like, who is sponsoring this group? Second, it came to, is it political? Third, it went to a few individuals like Kina Kimuzi. And then it came again down to KDF, which was not very successful, although the water is still bleak. Now it's going to a few individuals, like the way the calligraph and Anissa, it went about. Now the most recent, it's coming out that some people are posing or want to hijack to be leaders, and it's really being beaten. The drums are really hard and loud. That Miguna and Francis Githaigo, they want to be leaders. I would like to request and ask everyone, this is a firm disclaimer that the Gen Z still don't have a leader. As much as we're looking for direction and we're looking for a leader, the Gen Zs don't have a leader. So everywhere you should put a disclaimer, we don't have a leader. Miguna was giving directions yesterday, like you can try this as per the constitution, but you cannot do this and this and that. So they are trying to bring a narrative. Now the worst hit that has happened today, which now you'll find the whole people coming back and attacking us, is the goons that have come to the streets. Because you see, when somebody is beaten, somebody is desperately trying to crumble onto anything that they can hold on to so that they can beat you down. Because you know you're peaceful. When we are peaceful, you're hitting down onto somebody's belly. And then he came with a different narrative. He did a lot of killing. The whole world mocked it. Now he's coming with a way, because nobody's going to be happy seeing a business go down. And now we cannot know that goons are sent from what direction. So as a team, we need to first of all rejoin. As a team, we need to first of all be together and in togetherness without attacking anybody, because any loophole is going to be used to penetrate into the system that we are having. And we do not want anything called divide and rule at the moment that they've been using for so long. The tribal thing has failed them terribly. Right now we have one voice. We're not going to kill it by a few individuals parading themselves as somebody claims that we have a leader. We still don't have one. We are actually sourcing for one, and we are still skeptic about whom we are going to choose. So the directives and the parameters that we're going to use depend on us and our joint account and our togetherness. So anywhere that you find a platform being created, somebody mentioned here about somebody having a platform that was a bit political. You came and sanitized yourself, and people said, now you're together with us. And then you come with a different narrative that space of yesterday of Miguna, there's nowhere he said that is the leader of the Gen Zs. So let us unite, let us be together, let us see the voices that are not reasoning with us and are not resonating with us and shy away from them. Let us stick together and be bold. Let us stick together and be fearful. And any goals that we see across, our cameras are working. The way people left town today, it was very much in order. I'm sorry to take one more second. The way people left town today, it was very much in order, and we pray that none of us was injured again. But when you see something that is coming like the way it came today, this is now an enemy to beat us down. So let's not allow enemy of separation, enemy of bad mouthing, enemy of fighting amongst ourselves, so that we can still stick together. Because when they penetrate with the divide and rule that they're struggling with, and that is why I said the other day that we will only deplatform them, but the churches we are not going to attack, so that they don't get the narrative of now it's going to be about religion. So let's stick together, and I will leave you with those points. Mark them, let's take note of them, and let's be careful about them. Thank you so much, Kimuzi. Have a good night, everyone, and God bless you. God bless you so much.
Thank you. God disable.
Shukran Kimuzi. Asante sana kwa kunipatia hii fursa tena ya kuzungumzia.
God disable 3 minutes at most. Thank you.
Absolutely. That is more than just enough. First of all, we are not a criminal entity. We are not hiding anything. Hakuna kitu tutaficha tuende kuzungumza kwingine kwa siri. Walikuwa wanajua hii revolution ilianza hapa kwa space. Wamekuwa wakisema ni Russia, wamekuwa wakisema it's so and so politician, wamekuwa wakisema sijui ni nani. Tusipeleke mazungumzo yetu kokote. Mazungumzo yetu yote yawe hapa, yawe ya wazi. Hatuna ubaya, hatutaki kufanya lisilo kando ya sheria ya nchi yetu. Tunaheshimu sheria, tunaheshimu serikali, tunataka kuongozwa maisha bora. Hilo ndio lengo letu kubwa. Pili, hatutaki kiongozi, kila mtu ni kiongozi hapa. Everyone is a leader in their own capacity. Tumepatiana viongozi wa nini? Tunapatiana serikali, tumeipatia wabunge karibia 300. Walikuwa na pesa milioni zaidi ya 400 kulipa wabunge 200 milioni 200. Tukiwapatia watu 5 ndio watashindwa kwa compromise, watashindwa kuwatishia warudishe mikia yao katikati ya miguu. Hakuna kiongozi tunapeleka kokote. Hata Miguna tuwezi sema si kiongozi wetu wala ni kiongozi. Yeye anakuja analeta input yake kama sote wengine tunavoleta input yetu. We cannot downplay anybody's input. Lakini yule mtu yote ambaye hayuko na sisi hatufai kumsikiza. Yoyote yule ambaye ameshuka katika ile bogi, tafadhali shuka polepole taratibu, kanunua gazeti usome, utapata habari za maandamano kwa magazeti. Lakini wale tuliko, nia yetu ni moja, nia yetu ni Kenya bora. Hatutaki lingine. Hatuna personal interest kabisa. Wengine hatutaki hata kuwa viongozi, hatutaki wala hata kujulikana. Lakini tunataka kesho kuwe na maisha bora, maskini aweze kupata afya bora na elimu bora. Hilo tu ndo lengo letu kubwa. Lakini kusema tunasema maneno yetu yote hapa ni sawa kabisa. Toka yaanze haya maneno yameanzia hapa kwa space. Yamekuwa yakizungumzwa hapa kwa hajazungumzwa lolote na siri. Hakuna mmoja anayepanga njama zozote kwa nyuma ya curtain wala kokote. Yote yale haki yasemwe hapa mbele, tufuate haki yetu hapa mbele. Tuone kama tutapata pale tutakapofika. Lakini viva hakuna kushuka jamaa. Tumetoka ni mbali. Tunakwenda sio mbali. Rais wetu akitusikiza tutapelekana naye mpaka 2027. Matakwa yetu yote yale tunayotaka tuyalist hapa. Tuyazungumzie tukiona lile lote ambalo lina umuhimu kwetu. Tuseme ni ABC tunataka, ni CS mbunge fulani hatumtaki, ni nani hatumtaki, yote tuyaeke hapa kiwazi ndio tuseme kani kuwa tuna lead revolution nyingine ambayo ina nia mbaya. Hapana. Yetu ni haki na ukweli. Mungu awabariki nyote.
Shukran sana. Temper, tunaweza vile umesema tuko na makazi na nini, to wind up. Wewe unaweza wind up, then tuta wind up.
Actually Kimuzi got disabled ndo kwa speaker mwisho. Kila mse mwingine akapa speaker panel akaongea. So yeah, wadau imekuwa session moja fit. Yeah, I think kesho kutakuwa na space ama hata kesho siku yote tu utaona space utajoin. Endelea kubonga tujue the way forward, but for today pia kesho tunaingia mjengo nini leo tumekuwa tujaingia jamo 1 2. Sasa tufatane siku nyingine manze, hatuwezi kosa la kubonga. Kimuzi.
Shukran sana. And I just want to emphasize one thing. We do not support anarchy. We do not incite any public to loot or to destroy any property. We are just fighting for our rights. We want Kenya back. We don't want our looters. And for those people saying for us to tender